Let's talk about winter outerwear 2025, beyond the puffer. How can we look stylish and effortlessly elegant as we slide into the winter months, particularly for those of us in our 50s, 60s, 70s and beyond? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you my outerwear and how I style it, along with shoes, boots, scarves, hats, gloves, and maybe the odd bag, so that we can keep warm and toasty in the colder months and still feel gorgeous. Oh, and hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Des. I'm a 71-year-old woman who loves to talk all things fashion, beauty and lifestyle for the over 50, over 60 and over 70 woman. So let's get started. Now, I know I mentioned that this video would go beyond the puffer, and it will, but I think a puffer coat does really have its uses in the winter. I'm sure we've all got one in some form or another, or a puffer jacket. And so I am going to start with my puffer coat, which I bought about 3 or 4 years ago from Uniqlo. And apparently the puffer coats are coming back into fashion. Now look, we're of a certain age, we're not following fashion, but we take an interest in it, and we may dress according to fashion if we feel like it. That's how I feel anyway. So I'm happy to say, even if the puffer wasn't in fashion, I would be wearing it. But the reason I love this one so much compared to my old Uniqlo puffers that I used to have, the older ones were that sort of quilted puffer, but this isn't. This is more of a down. In fact, maybe it isn't even a puffer, but it is puffed up, let's put it that way. And I really love this coat. Now, in terms of styling it, I'm not going to pretend that I can make it look effortlessly stylish, because it's a huge coat. It's going to make everybody look bigger because it's got that down filling. I can't remember from memory whether it's 70% down or not, but it's got a pretty high down content. And so it is going to puff you out. But the difference with the down coat, I think, as opposed to the quilted one, is with the quilted, you can end up looking a bit Michelin Man-like. And those of you of my generation will know what I'm talking about. But if you've got a down coat, you haven't got that sort of pillowy, pumped effect, have you, of the sort of the quilt, if you like. Now, I think these Uniqlo coats are incredibly warm. In fact, they're certainly too warm for me to wear at the moment, because we're actually in quite a mild phase here in the UK. But no doubt, especially as I've moved to the sea, I'm on the North Sea coast, it's going to be cold, and this down coat, which is probably what I should call it, is going to come in really handy. I think they're around £160, which I guess would make them around $200 or thereabouts, maybe just under. I will put all the details of all the items that I talk about and their equivalents if they're not available now, because some of the items I will be talking about I've had in my wardrobe for quite some time. So everything will be listed and linked in the description box below and in the top comment as well. Now, despite this coat not being perhaps the most stylish, because it's not going to give you much of an interesting silhouette, I think if you wear it with, for example, as I'm wearing it in the clip, the black woolly hat, the black sunglasses and the black boots give it that cohesive feel, if you like. So it looks intentional. It doesn't look like I've just shoved something on. I've got a pair of jogging bottoms underneath. Although, of course, if you want to wear a pair of jogging bottoms with the coat, please feel free to do so. We're just talking about how to style outerwear, because a lot of us will just slap on our outerwear and we won't be thinking about being stylish. But if we want to look stylish when we go out, even if it is just to run errands, then we may want to pop a little hat on and a pair of glasses as well. And I do think a black hat looks better with this than a white hat, or a cream hat. I have got a cream hat as well, which I'll show you a bit later. And I think keeping everything black underneath, well, for me, because I love black, but you could keep it all blue, you could keep it all brown. But I think a tonal look with this type of coat looks best. So I would probably tend to stick to a dark colour. But of course, if you want a lighter colour coat, then you could stick to a tonal colour in that as well. But I think keeping a tonal look with this type of coat is probably the best way to go. Now let's talk about this coat, and this is a Teddy coat that I bought in Norwich, which is not that far from here. It's probably the largest city close to where I am in East Anglia, and I bought it just before lockdown in 2020 because I was here on holiday for a week trying to finish my novel. Let me know in the comments if you want to know a bit more about that. So I was trying to finish my novel. I didn't actually finish it then. I finished it a lot later, but it was early 2020. COVID was just around the corner. Well, we knew it was here, but it wasn't locked down yet. So it was late January. And I was fed up one day. I just thought I can't do any more writing. So I drove to Norwich, which is probably about an hour from here. And I bought the only item that I've ever kept from Zara, and this is the Teddy coat. I didn't even know it was called a Teddy coat. I was so ignorant. But I fell in love with it, even though it's not really my colour. But I think it does work for me. But anyway, let me just tell you why I think this coat is so useful in this weather. So we've talked about probably the warmest coat I've got, which is the down coat. This is just slightly less warm, but it is lined. It isn't sadly available at Zara anymore, but I have linked some other similar ones. I actually lived in it when I was going to the office because it's not too restricting. It's still got enough room in the sleeves to wear a woolly jumper underneath. But also if you're travelling, especially in London or in a city and you get hot, you can actually wear something light underneath and then put this on the top when you're walking around in the streets. So I found it a really helpful coat. And I think it looks great styled with the cream hat, the cream scarf, and then bringing in the black slouchy bag from Uniqlo with the black boots. Now in quite a lot of these videos I've kept my base layers very simple because really it's about the outerwear, but I have tried to show you how to style them as well. And I think this coat and the down coat would look great with leggings. You could certainly wear leggings. You could wear high boots if you've got high boots. I don't actually own a pair of high boots. I used to have some, but I haven't had some for a few years. But I think this coat would look amazing with high boots. And I just think it's an incredibly comfortable, and of course it's very soft coat. So I'm really pleased to have had this and kept this in my wardrobe for all these years. Well, 5 years anyway. It's not that long, is it? Oh, it'll be 6 years soon. And I'm sure I'll continue to wear it for years to come. And I think, talking of the colour, by the way, that if you don't think the colour is quite right for you, I think because I'm wearing the cream hat and scarf close to my complexion, it's lifting it and it's taking away the potential drain from the sort of orangey tan of the coat, which is not one of my natural colours, because I'm kind of a winter deep with a little bit of olive, so I can wear gold jewellery as well as silver jewellery, but I can't really wear most yellows or oranges. I would steer clear of those. But I think having the cream close to my skin, or the black actually as well, helps to balance that out and sort of dampen down the warmth of the coat colour. Now let's talk about this coat, and actually I have this coat in 2 colours. Now this is a mango unlined, unstructured coat, and this is my absolute go-to coat. Now the black one I bought last year, I lived in it. Because it wasn't that cold, I didn't actually wear the puffer and the Teddy coat as much. I wore the black coat so much more. Because it's one of those coats, it's really light for a start. That's one of the great things about it. It's not heavy because it's not lined, and so it's really easy to wear on top of anything. You don't feel weighed down by it. But also because it's not lined, it means you can wear really thick jumpers like this. I haven't actually got anything underneath this jumper. This is one of the Quince cashmere jumpers that I adore. Most of you who watched my channel before will know. But you can wear another layer underneath this and then wear this, or you could even wear the Quince hoodie with the tie, and you would still have room in your sleeves. You wouldn't feel constricted in any way. Now I bought a small because I do think they come up quite large, but I am usually a small anyway, and I'll put my sizes on the screen and down below in the description box. I am quite small boned. I have small shoulders, and now I have smaller hips because I've been on a diet and I've lost nearly a stone, which is about 14 pounds. So although it hasn't made a huge difference to the sizes that I buy, because actually my clothes still all fit, none of them are falling off me because it takes a long time to come off my tum. I'm only 5'4", maybe even 5'3.5". And my waist is very big in proportion to my hips because I have a short torso. Anyway, as I say, all my measurements will be down below for you, but I took a small is fine. I maybe could have taken an extra small, but I like having that oversized, roomy feel. And that's what we want in the winter. We don't really want constriction, I don't think. We might have done if we were going to an office, but those of us who have retired or are not having to go to an office for any reason on a regular basis probably don't want to feel that constriction. So I think having a nice loose coat, and I bought it in the chocolate brown, and I loved it in the black, but I love the chocolate brown so much. And of course that's the colour of the season, or one of the colours. So I decided to get the chocolate brown as well. That was with one of my retirement presents. So I'm now the proud owner of 2 mango coats. And you can see here I've styled it with a black bobble hat, the black Uniqlo bag and some tan leather gloves. Now let's move on to this car coat, as I think I would probably call it. Now this is a coat I recently bought about 4 weeks ago because I'd shown on my channel the naked faux suede jacket, which I quite liked, but actually the suede was quite rough. I mean, it wasn't real suede, but whatever the material was, I think it was polyester. It didn't feel terribly soft, and I thought it looked good, but I wasn't mad on it. And then I noticed, because I was sharing it on my channel, I noticed that it was sold out, so I was looking for an equivalent, and I found this one. And this was actually almost half the price, or at least 2/3 of the price of the naked one. And it's from H&M, and I think it actually looks more like suede than the other one did. And I am living in this, so I'm not in the mango coat, I'm in this H&M jacket. And of course this is very reasonably priced. I think it looks like real suede. What do you think? Now I bought it in a medium because I'm really leaning in, for want of a better expression, to the oversized look. But I think it really works on me, even though I'm quite short and I'm small framed. I really like the oversized look. I could have tried the size small, but I didn't want to get 2 sizes. I just wanted to get one. And because H&M, not the premium range, but just the regular range, do tend to come up a bit small on me. Their sizes are not that generous. I thought it was worth getting a medium, and I think it looks really great. Now you can see I've styled it with the black hat again, the black bobble hat, my little black Uniqlo crossbody bag, and this beautiful scarf my husband bought me, gosh, must be about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe more, which I hardly ever wear, but because scarves are kind of coming back into fashion, or at least those little triangular scarves are, I thought I would style it with the scarf, and I think it looks really good, and the sunglasses. Now again, you could wear this with leggings, you could wear it with the narrow jeans that I'm wearing it with, and some clumpy boots, and I think it would look great. I don't think this works, and I think I did style it like that to see how it looked with the wide leg trousers, and I'll pop a picture up if I can find one from one of my previous videos. And if you haven't seen my previous video where I was styling my, as I was calling it, retirement wardrobe, I'll link it up here for you somewhere. So I think if you're going to have a wide top, you want to stick to narrow bottoms, and I think that's why these skinny jeans from Marks & Spencer work really well with the jacket. And of course I've topped them off with sunglasses. Now I just want to mention all the sunglasses are from a brand called Expressive Cherry. It's a tiny female founded brand based in Wales. I bought 1 pair of my own, this is about 5 years ago, and then they gifted me another 3 pairs, and I have just lived in them. I've had them ever since. I've never bought any other sunglasses. I love them. They have lasted incredibly well. I'm really naughty. I never put them in a case or anything. But they're only about 25 to 30 pounds each, and they ship worldwide. And all the details will be down below for you in the description box. Now, the next jacket is a boxy one, and we've just talked about wide leg trousers, and the reason I've picked this jacket, and I actually picked it out of my vintage to sell pile, and when I was thinking about this video, I thought I don't really have a good jacket, a winter jacket, that goes with wide leg trousers. I've got a couple of pairs which I really like, and I've also got the rooty ones, although I wouldn't exactly call them wide legs, but we'll come to them a bit later. Anyway, I've decided to pick it out of the vintage pile, and although it's not available anymore, I will link some others down below for you because I have found some that are similar. But what I think looks really good, and I think it looks fine with the skinny jeans, but doesn't it look good with the wide leg jeans? I think it really works. Now what's good about this jacket is it's almost like a cardigan. It isn't a cardigan, but it's got that soft boucle material, so it's not too heavy. You wouldn't want to wear a huge jumper underneath. And in fact, I think I wore the mango slimmer cashmere jumper underneath, not the quince one. But if you've got a lighter cashmere jumper or merino wool, if you like wearing merino wool, that would go really well under this jacket. And actually what I'm wearing underneath this, which you'll see in a moment, I'm wearing a Marks & Spencer's cardigan, which I've just bought. So I'm actually wearing a cardigan under a cardigan, but it doesn't really feel like that. And you'll see that a bit later. I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you the cardigan separately, but the reason I'm mentioning it now is because that scarf that you see with the jacket came with the cardigan, and I think it looks really good with the jacket, never mind with the cardigan. So let's recap on the shapes of coats we've got. So we've got the down or puffer coat, which is quite wide, so you'd want to wear skinny jeans or leggings with that. You've got the slimmer fitting teddy coat, which again you probably wouldn't want to wear wide legs with, but you could certainly wear straight legs or skinnies or leggings, of course. Then you've got the car coat, which again, because it's got that oversized look, you probably want to keep your bottoms straight or slim. Then you've got the boxy jacket, which looks great with wide legs and actually better than it would look with skinnies. I think it's fine with skinnies, but actually it's really more of a wide leg jean kind of jacket, I would suggest. And then you've got the mango coat, which I think would probably go with everything. But again, if you've got really wide legs, you maybe wouldn't want them flapping around underneath a coat that's already very long. Now let's talk about this pile of woolies. So what I've got here are hats, scarves and gloves. And one of my lovely subscribers asked if I would show how I tie a scarf. Now, I used to have various techniques of tying scarves, and I will show you what I've done in the past, but actually I do think the triangle tie is the one I'm favouring at the moment, because I don't think my head is that big, so I don't really want too much going on up here, although I do like to feel warm, there's no doubt about it, so I like to have something at my neck in the winter months. So let me show you my scarves and how I'm tying them. So first of all, this is the newest addition to my collection, and I did talk about this in my video, in my retirement video. So really this is made for tying. And although I bought this in a local shop, I will leave the equivalent down below for you. But I think there's a lot of them around at the moment because they've become fashionable again. So I would probably tie this, I think actually in one of the clips, I left one of these little bits hanging, which wasn't terribly stylish of me, was it? So that's how I would tie this sort of scarf. And then the other scarf I wore in one of the clips is this one from my husband from a few years ago. And again, I would just fold the square into a triangle. Oops. And then do the same thing. Now, back in the day when I had long hair, so this would be about, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 years ago maybe, and I was travelling into central London, if there was any hint of any moisture in the air at all, I would put this on or put a scarf on over my hair, because if I just beautifully blow dried it and then went out into the moisture, it would look dreadful in about 5 minutes. So I used to wear this kind of a bit like our mums did, tying it underneath my chin, but I'm not going to do that now because I don't think it's a really attractive look for me. And so that's how I would style this one, which I've just noticed how nice these earrings look with this scarf. And these earrings are also from my husband. I'm sorry, he's just such a generous gifter. And then this is the scarf that I wore with the Uniqlo Boucle jacket. Now this is just a long scarf that's come with a cardi, which I'll show you in a sec. In fact, I'm not sure I'd wear this scarf just with the cardigan. So with this one, I'd fold it in half like that, hold it here, put it round my neck, and then fold these in here like that. And that's how I would style this one. Now this is not too big because I think some scarves can really drown me because I've got this, I think, small head. But I think this is just right in terms of size, and I can't remember what it's made of now, but let me show you the cardigan actually while we're at it. This is it here. I'll put the details down below for you, but I just think it's so cute and it looks really good with the wide leg trousers, because I was looking for, or the wide leg jeans I should say, I was looking for a cardi or a top, something warm to wear with those wide leg trousers. I've got the mango cashmere jumper, but I wanted something else, and this is really good. It's £36. It will be polyester or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I don't think it's got any wool in it, but it feels really soft and it's got a very slight sort of ribbing to it. So I'm hoping that means it's not going to pill too much, because I know these fabrics do have a tendency to pill, but I think it's gorgeous. I think it comes in olive as well. So really delighted with that, and bonus, I've got the scarf as well. Oh, and I took it in a small, by the way. Now, the only other scarf that you might have seen on camera is this one, which was my mum's. I found it in her makeup box, which I unpacked a few years ago. And although it's not my colours, I think it does look okay. I probably wouldn't wear this red. It's quite a warm shade. But because it's hers, obviously I love it. And I actually just tend to use it when I'm getting dressed. If I've got makeup on, I put it over my head to stop the makeup spoiling my clothes. but I just love having it with me, and I probably wouldn't wear it out because I wouldn't want to lose it, but it is really pretty and I'm obviously very fond of it. Now this is a scarf I haven't actually worn for ages. My daughter got it for me when she worked at Mulberry, and it is beautiful, but it's a huge scarf. So probably if I was going to wear this, I would have to fold it. I mean, it's almost like a shawl really, but I think shawls are not a particularly good look when you get to over 70 personally, because I think you can look and possibly feel a bit granny-ish. I mean, nothing wrong with being a granny. I'm a granny, or even looking like a granny, because obviously we probably all look like grannies. We're all different sorts of grannies if we are a granny. Stop rambling, Des. But anyway, so I'd fold it in half like that, or lengthways in half. Then let's see how it looks if I do that. Actually, do you know what? It might work quite well because it's a very soft material. I don't know, does the colour make me look a bit granny-ish? It's a bit like that poem, isn't it? When I'm old, I shall wear purple. Well, I am old and I am wearing purple. I don't know, it's a beautiful scarf, but I just haven't been inclined to wear it, so I'm not sure. Let me know if you think it suits me. Now this is a lovely cashmere, I think it's cashmere wool, or it might be cashmere scarf kind of stole, which I bought to wear to a wedding a couple of years ago. Now this is long, and I think it's probably too bulky to wear like this. It's not too bad. It looks slightly kind of university-ish. If it had a stripe in it, it would, wouldn't it? So it's okay, it's not terrible, but I just don't think it looks terribly stylish on me. But it's nice to have, and if I ever go to another winter wedding, maybe I'll wear it then. But I'm definitely keeping it, because if it gets really cold, I can sit in front of the telly with it on. And similarly, with this beautiful scarf, I've been thinking about selling it because I don't know what to do with it really. It's absolutely gorgeous. But again, I'm not going to wear this around my neck, am I? It's just too big. I think if you were tall, it would look fantastic on you. But because I'm short, it just doesn't really do anything for me. It's just an extra sort of layer that I don't need. So I may need to declutter it, I don't know. Now let's talk about woolly hats, because one of my lovely subscribers asked me about face shapes and woolly hats. Now, I am not an expert on face shapes, but I know what suits me and what doesn't suit me. So all I can tell you is that I know that this hat suits me best. This one isn't too bad, but it's not quite as good. And I know that very flat or beanies without any pom-poms definitely don't suit me at all, because I need some sort of height. So a flat beanie or a beanie without a pom-pom is not going to suit me at all. Let me show you what I mean. So this is, where did I get this from? I think it was from Amazon actually. And I love this because it's not too flat. I know you can't really see the pom-pom when it's on me, but there is that height there. And I think this is very much my style of hat for the winter, and it keeps me warm. It's lovely. It's not going to come off. The only difficulty I have is if I want to put my headphones underneath, and they tend to kind of stick out, and then either they fall out or the hat falls off. But otherwise, I really love this hat. And then this is the black one. I can't remember where this is from either, actually. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought. So I think sometimes, you see, if I wore it like that, although it's funny, you know, now I look in the mirror, I think, why am I making such a fuss? It actually doesn't look that bad at all. Keeping it real. But I do think there is something about height. Anyway, that's how I feel. I feel the same with any hat, actually, even caps. So I've got this great cap, this kind of baker boy cap, which I bought a few years ago from Agnes B. And again, because it's got a little bit of height, I think it suits me better than a really flat beanie hat or a really flat cap. So anyway, that's my 2 pennyworth about hats. I'm afraid I can't say any more than that because I'm not an expert on face shapes. I think the only way to be sure whether a woolly hat is going to suit you is just to try a few on. Go into a store and try them on, or order a few from Amazon and send back the ones that you don't like. It's the only way really, it's trial and error. But I think for me, I need balance, so I need something higher. That's why I don't really like my hair when it's too flat either. I do need a little bit of something going on here. rather than it being dead straight. I hope that's helpful. Now, the final pieces of outerwear I want to talk to you about are boots and shoes. Now, before I show you my boots and shoes, let's just talk about what happens to us as we get older to our feet, so that it affects the size of the shoe we take or the boot, the type of boot or shoe we take, as well as how our feet have been up to now. Because one of the banes of my life is having narrow ankles, and it meant that actually wearing court shoes, as we used to call them, so not slingbacks or trainers, but anything just had a regular back, that was a shoe, was really a court shoe. I really struggled to find ones that I could keep my foot in, because if they were too tight, well, obviously they'd be too tight at the front, and if they were too loose, then my foot would come out the back. Anyway, so you won't be seeing any regular shoes in this video because I just can't fit into them unless they've got a strap. So I suppose a Mary Jane, but I'm not a Mary Jane fan really. I don't like Mary Janes. I don't like ballet flaps either. So that's the issue I've had all my life. But the other issue I found out that I had a few years ago is flat feet. Now, I used to have a pair of custom-made orthotics, but I seem to have lost them. But somewhere I have got my Amazon ones, which I bought, which were almost just as good really. Although lately it's very interesting. I've found I haven't had to wear them, which is just as well, seeing as I can't find the very expensive pair that I bought. So I've got flat feet. That also means that I've started to wear a bigger size in most of my shoes. So in my trainers, I take a 5 instead of a 4, which is a 38 instead of a 37, or I think American sizes are 2 sizes down, aren't they, or 2 sizes up? I can't remember. I'll put them on the screen anyway. They're also linked, they're also in the description box. So I have been taking, the key thing is, the point is I've been taking the point I'm trying to make, sorry, I'm waffling again. The point I'm trying to make is I take a bigger size, generally speaking, in trainers and some boots, but it varies. And interestingly, in the first pair I'm going to show you in a sec, the Fitflop boots that I bought, I'm in a 4.5, so I'm in a 36, so I'm a half size bigger than I would have been. I used to be a 4, but I'm not a full 5 because they were too big. So again, it is going to depend on the brand, whether the shoe or the boot comes up large or small. But I would say Fitflop is probably fairly close to true size, because if you're of an age like I am, you probably are finding that you've got the beginnings of a bunion, or you've got a bunion. I've certainly got the beginnings of bunions on both feet. So I think that's why I'm needing them to be a little bit wider at the top. Although I don't know whether that would have anything to do with the size. I don't really know how shoe sizes work, if I'm honest. But trainers tend to be more forgiving anyway in the sort of toe area. But I do have narrow ankle, which is why the Fitflop boots suit me well. And let's start with those. Now, these are the boots I've been wearing most of the clips, and to be honest, most days as well. They are just so comfortable. Now, they're very expensive, but I think you'll see these are probably the boots that I would wear. I maybe wouldn't wear them for errands actually, because I'd probably wear trainers or my brown suede ones, which I'm going to show you in a sec. But these are the most versatile. Now, they are expensive, but if I think about all the footwear I own, and it's very little really in terms of winter footwear, these are going to be my number ones because they go with virtually all my clothes. So I absolutely love these. So I do think they're worth investing in if you're happy to spend, well, actually you don't need to spend £190 on them, because if you sign up to their newsletter, you'll get money off straight away anyway. So I think I paid £161 for them. But they are great boots and they're so super comfortable. They've got really good footbeds. They've got some funny name for the footbed. I can't remember what it's called now, but everything will be down below for you. You can check out their website. I highly recommend these. And I think these are definitely an autumn winter boot and into early spring as well. Now, the next pair of boots are these. Now, these I bought locally, but I'll link down below for you some similar ones. Absolutely love these. Incredibly versatile, but don't go with everything. They don't go with the rooty pants at all. They look awful with them. But I think they go with straight leg jeans, with skinny jeans, with wide legs. They go with most things, but not with anything too smart. They are a very casual boot and really great for that. And I can wear them walking through the field. They look kind of weathered, which I like as well, but they're not as clumpy as the old Orinoco Clark boots, which I have got, but I'm not really wearing them anymore. They're a bit too heavy. These are lighter and more comfortable, and they're just a really great all-round boot and look stylish, but are super comfortable. Oh, and I've got these in a 38, which is a 5. Now, another staple are these M&S trainers. which I bought I think a year and a half ago or thereabouts, and they've been brilliant. They really have, and they do clean really well. Now these were about £45 I think. They've got a relatively good footbed. It is raised. Again, I haven't needed my orthotics in them. They're very comfortable. They go with straight legs, they go with skinny jeans. Relatively wide here, which I like. I don't like too thin a trainer. I do love my Puma Palermos, but I'm not wearing those in the winter. I'm sticking to these chunkier ones. And I like the Puma Palermos. I have tried trainers in black, but I didn't feel right in them at all. In fact, I don't really feel right in any trainers that aren't a cream or a white. I don't mind if they've got other colours on them like the Palermo Pumas have, but I don't really like them if they've got red or green or yellow. I don't know why I'm funny that way. I have tried them, but love these. 45 quid. They're still available, I think. They'll be down below in the description box. Absolutely love these. Very comfortable. Again, I sized up, so I'm a 38. I don't think you can go wrong with these. Now, because I want to be completely honest with you about all the other footwear I have that I might wear over this season, I want to show you these first of all. Look at these gorgeous boots. I think I did show them a couple of years ago, and these are from, I think, H&M, and they've got little heels. I mean, have I worn them out? You know, the labels are so pristine. I'm not sure I've actually worn them anywhere. But I thought the heel was quite good because it's not too high. Now, I think I got these in, oh no, they're from M&S. They're from M&S, and these are in a 4.5, interestingly, and these fit me perfectly, and the heel is fine. These are really fun, as you can see, and I've popped a clip up where you'll see that my tum is still quite fat in those black trousers. It's not the most flattering look for me, but I wanted to show you how these boots look with the wider leg trousers, and they look absolutely awful, I think. They don't look right at all. So although we think about silhouettes with sort of wide, slim wide or slim wide slim, this slim with that wide really doesn't look right at all, does it? But I think these look okay with the rooties, interestingly enough. And by the way, can I just tell you, I'm so delighted. Since I've lost all this weight, that jacket I'm showing you with the rooty pants, that is an Agnes B velvet jacket I bought in 2002 when I was like this, because I just got divorced and I had lost so much weight. I was too thin, really. But I bought this jacket from Agnes B in black velvet in a 36, which is an 8. I can just get into it again. It is a little bit tight over the bust, but I can fit into it. And I said to my husband, look, you've just got to take me somewhere smart now, come on. Celebrate the fact that I could get into this jacket again after 23 years. That's not bad, is it? So I think the boots look great with the rooty pants if I was going somewhere smart, and it just shows you the versatility of those rooty pants. I know they're ridiculously expensive, although when this goes out I think they'll still have a sale on, and the link will be down below for you in the description box. But honestly, don't they look great with the jacket and boot? All I need now is a red carpet. Then I've got these beautiful boots which I bought for that wedding I talked about, that winter wedding. I mean, I haven't worn them for ages, but they are beautiful. They were from Dune. The heel is ridiculously high, but I have walked in them and it was okay. It was a bit like walking on stilts, but I probably won't have an occasion to wear them, unfortunately, but I like to have them anyway because you never know. And then finally, I'm just going to mention these Vivaya boots. Now, those of you who followed me for a while will know that I did actually not a sponsored video exactly, but a series of shorts, because Vivaya gifted me some boots, and because I'd loved these so much at the time, I thought I would take it on. So I did these little shorts. Unfortunately, a lot of the boots, in fact all the boots they sent me, weren't quite in the right size, but I said okay, just send them to me, and I thought I'd see how they were. But honestly, I decluttered them all because I wasn't really loving them. And when I put these on recently, there's something about the fabric. I used to really love a sock boot. I had loads of sock boots over the years because I love the concept of them, particularly because I've got narrow ankles. So I do think they're a stylish boot, but I just haven't had occasion to wear them. And again, I think it's partly because I'm not in an office anymore. I did wear these a few times to the office when I first got them. I love the style. And actually they did remind me a little bit of, what was it called now? There was a brand called United something. I'll put it on the screen if I can remember it. Not Benetton, it was United. Oh, it was a weird name anyway. And they sold quite unusual looking sort of sock boots and weird shaped boots. And I did have a pair of those once, so these did remind me of those. Anyway, long-winded explanation to say that I'm not really wearing these Vivayas anymore. I'm not inclined to get any more because I don't know whether I'm that interested in the fabric anymore. It just feels slightly, don't know. not my cup of tea. Now, I said I was going to talk about bags, and I will just show you the bags I've got because I don't have that many winter bags and I need a black bag. Actually, I'm coveting, well, I'm not coveting because I haven't found one, but I'm looking for a smallish black bag that I can wear out with black outfits because all I've got at the moment is the Uniqlo crossbody. So let me just quickly show you the bags I do have. Actually, I lied. I do have a really nice bag, but I just don't want to wear it because it's quite old-fashioned. It's an old, can't remember the name of it. It begins with an L, I think. It's very nice. I've had it for donkey's years. Must be a good 25 years or so, but I just don't reach for it. So then I've got the Uniqlo crossbody in this, not canvas, I've forgotten the material now, but in this very light material. It's great, but it's just not very smart, is it? Then I've got this Uniqlo. In fact, I've got two of these. I've got a black one and a tan one. These are brilliant for when I travel into London because I can shove a load of things in this. It's really light, it weighs absolutely nothing, and I can get my laptop in it as well. So these are really good bags. They're also great for going shopping in town here. So love these bags. Then I've got my old and battered, although I do love it, brown leather bag from Cosy, which is a crossbody as well. And I do love this, but I don't know why I haven't reached for it lately. I suppose because it's a bit smaller than the black Uniqlo one. And this is more of a town bag. I probably wouldn't wear it here. And then I've got these two Mulberry bags, which my daughter gave me. Now, of course, I've got other bags, but they're not really for autumn, winter. That's why I'm just talking about these particular bags. Now, I love this bag. It's a great size. I mean, this is the sort of size of bag, I think, that I would like in a black. And then this is a great tote bag. But again, I don't really wear either of these anymore because I'm not working. I'm not going into town. Well, I'm going into town, but when I go into town, it's for a particular purpose. I'm not working in a town anymore. If I go into the town here where I live, that's just for shopping or a coffee or whatever, or just to walk to the sea. So I don't really need a kind of corporate-y looking bag. I think the smaller, the bucket bag, is fine, but again, I probably wouldn't take that into town if I'm just going out to run errands. So the bags I tend to use at the moment are the two big Uniqlos and the smaller one, and that's it. So let me know in the comments actually, what sort of bags do you tend to go for? We probably tend to just grab a slouchy shopping bag because either we're going in the car or we're just walking and we want something comfortable. So I am on the lookout for other bags that might be suitable for us women who are not in the corporate world anymore, but still want to have a stylish bag to go out with, even if it's just to go to the pub or to have a coffee or out for dinner somewhere. So there you have it. That is my autumn winter outerwear collection for 2025 and how I'm styling it. So let me know in the comments, not just about handbags, boots, shoes, coats, jackets. What are your favourites? What type of jackets do you wear on repeat, or coats? I know that probably half of you watching this, or at least a third of you, won't be thinking about autumn winter coats at all. You'll be thinking about light jackets, warm attire. One of my lovely subscribers said she's still in flip-flops and she lives in Spain. So we're not wearing flip-flops here, although I have to say the weather today is really warm, but it's still early November. We're not quite in December yet, but do let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it. Do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you get notified each time I upload a video, because YouTube won't necessarily show you the videos, even if you are subscribed. If you want to hear more from me, I now have what I'm hoping is going to be a weekly short and sweet newsletter. The link to subscribe to that is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I can't believe we're not far off 26,500 subscribers. It is absolutely a dream for me, a dream come true, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you're all doing really well, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye!